Hi guys, my name is Kumalo and today's video is about how to find the perfect apartment. Before I begin, I must say that this does not constitute financial advice. This is just from one friend to the next. This is just my way of trying to bridge the gap between uncertainty and reality. Let's go. So as an entry-level worker, you need to find the perfect apartment for you. And you need to keep in mind that a perfect apartment for me is not the same as you, nor is it the same for my friend or my boyfriend. So that's why when we're picking apartments, you'll see that certain people are willing to sacrifice certain things. So for example, I've got a list of things that I think people should consider. And from this list, you need to pick your top 3. Guys, you cannot have the whole list unless you are earning 50K plus. So you need to pick your top 3, and then if there's anything else, it's just a bonus. Nah. So for example, for me, my top 3 were affordability, security 24/7, so like having a security post by the gate, as well as a place that is aesthetically pleasing. Those are my top 3. Someone else like my boyfriend, he would probably say it must have a gym and a pool, it must be close to work, and it must have a nice view or a locked garage. Other people might also have other things, like there must be a laundry room, or there must be a clubhouse or restaurant or bar, or other people might say they must allow pets. See, so all of us have different things that we must have. That's why you can only pick 3. And if you get then lucky you, bruh, you've won. But don't cry. Don't cry if you only get 3. Sometimes you might only get 2 or 1. So a lot of you asked me this question on Instagram. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, then you probably should, because that's where I get most of my questions. But people were like, where do you look for an apartment? And guys, honestly, Property 24 and private property are your best places to look. Sure, you can look on Gumtree and other places, but usually places that have like proper landlords and proper places and proper apartments are on those sites. They're free and you can make an account. And the nice thing I like about those apps is that once you have your account, you can heart places that you like. So just like them. Even if you don't want to contact the agent at the moment, you've liked it so that one day when you are ready, you can go and see if your liked apartments are still available, you know. Also, you don't want to keep scrolling through every single apartment in Midrand every time you want to show someone that you're looking for a place, whereas you can go to your saved place and you can see all of your things nicely. So guys, use technology, it's there for a reason. The thing about Property 24 and private property is that each time a similar house is available, they'll let you know via email. So you don't check private property every single day. Well, I did, but you don't need to do that, because when the algorithm finds a place that's similar to what you've been looking for, like let's say you're looking for a 2-bed, 2-bath, when they find one in your price range, they'll let you know and you can go and see. Another thing is, guys, when you're looking for your property, you actually need to budget. You need to know how much you're willing to spend, because it's very easy to get lost in the sauce and you see all these nice places and you can only afford a place that's 8,000 between 2 of you, so 4K. Don't look at all these places that are worth like 15,000, because you can't afford that and you're just breaking your heart. So you might as well just filter it down so you only see within your range. But these apps will usually show the best of the best apartments. So like I know with my apartment, there were so many listings for this place, but they were all showing the same picture. So it's not like you're viewing the picture for your specific apartment, the one that you will move into. No, it's just a standard one that they show. And usually these places are furnished, so cute, cool, like everything looks bomb. But you need to remember that you're not going to move into a place with a nice green couch. My best advice for you to find your perfect apartment is for you to not look under pressure. Because if you're looking for an apartment and you've got 1 week, my boy, you are going to settle for whatever, because you're stranded, you need a place, but also you have your top 3 priority. Chances are you're only going to get 1, if any. Whereas if you start looking, maybe, I want to say 2 months in advance, but even a month in advance is fine. I don't want to say look 3 months, 6 months in advance, because what's listed today might not be listed in 6 months' time. So there's no point. You can look if you're just trying to get an idea of the property that's available and where you're going to be staying, or like to get an idea of the budget. But like, don't look and like set your heart on a house, because in 6 months it will be like it won't be there. And once you've found a place that you like, now this is you're serious, you know you're moving to Joburg next year or Cape Town or wherever, you found your place. email those people. Like, and sometimes if you really want them to notice you, call them, because estate agents usually leave their emails and their numbers. Call them and be like, hi, I just saw you listing on Property 24, I'm interested, blah blah blah, can you give me more details? You know, show that you're interested, because you're not the only person looking. There are also other people, and there are certain busy times like January, February. A lot of people are starting new jobs at new places, so estate agents can pick and choose whoever they want. So if you think when customer you're gonna walk in there and just pick whatever apartment, you're wrong, because there's like 500 of you and they can say, no, we don't want you, we want her. So call, be eager, show them that you're eager. But also don't forget that you are going to be paying, so you mustn't be chasing around after them. Like, I'm not saying chase, but show initiative. Cool. Now I'm going to move to the costs of renting an apartment and like the actual process of signing the lease. Cool. So with costs, like usually when you're searching online, the cost that are quoted is the rental amount per month. You see that this place is 8,000 sharp. What does it include? Just the 4 walls sharp. Now you need to factor in the electricity, the water, the rates. Some places have these additional costs, like there's a sewage cost and a refuse cost, like when they collect your bins. Like there are all these additional costs, and what might have been affordable starts pinching you a bit, because now you're moving from 8,000 and you're into the 9,000, you know. Not to forget those other costs like Wi-Fi and phew, guys, it's a lot. So just like in the car video, always be conservative with your apartment, but don't be too conservative, because you don't want to live in a rundown house just because you're trying to save 300 rand. It's really not worth it. So usually your agent or your landlord will require you to put down a deposit. Most deposit are 1 month's worth of rent, but sometimes it can be double, sometimes there can be no deposit. So it really does depend on what you're looking at. And if you get a flatmate, you can just split that deposit in half. But with your deposit, it's a deposit, so it must come back, you know, like it's a refund. But landlords will try and scam you, and they will try not return your deposit and come and inspect and say, oh, there's a cracked tile there, so you're gonna have to pay for that. Oh, there's a hole in this wall, I'm gonna deduct that from your deposit, blah 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 blah. So I'll tell you how to avoid that in my tips. But with your deposit, you must get it back. And also, guys, your landlord needs to put your deposit into an interest-bearing fixed deposit facility at the bank or whatever. So basically, if you put down deposit, 8,000. If you have not damaged the place and you have not done anything, when that money comes back to you, it can't be 8,000. It has to be like 8,200, 8,000, depending on the interest rate that bank facility has. But it can't be just 8,000. You know, you've basically invested, so it needs to come back with interest. Just keep that in mind. And if they don't give you your full deposit back or without the interest, request a schedule of why your deposit is incomplete. Because you'll find that landlords are charging you for things they shouldn't be charging you for, like wear and tear, depreciation. That's normal. You know how we, like in accounting, you were all told that like land and building doesn't depreciate, it appreciates in value. Yeah. Not flats, those things depreciate. Like there'll be water leakage and like ikubene mold, that is depreciation. And if it's not because of your fault, if you can see that other places in your complex have a similar issue, it must be a fault of the complex and not you. So they cannot take that money off of your deposit. Don't be scammed, guys. Like, let them know. And thing is, not a lot of people know, so these landlords are just, they are milking it. Honestly. Okay, guys, once you found your prospective perfect apartment, then you email the person and ask them to arrange a viewing. You go there and you see the place, and you must try and imagine yourself, like, can I live here? Would I enjoy coming back here after a long day? Is it comfortable? For example, I'm not someone who likes bathing. I don't like bathing anymore. I think I bathed for too long growing up, because I was scared of the shower. But now I love showering, so I knew that I had to have a shower. So if you're a person who loves the shower, don't pick a place with a bath, because for 12 months you're gonna come home and be pissed about this bathtub. Just don't. Or like other people, if you don't like stairs, don't pick a place that's like on the top floor, because my boy, you're gonna be tired, and guess what, you're not gonna lose weight. I know my mom always says, no, take the highest place so you can lose weight. My boy, I've been walking up Jamie stairs for 4 years. I did not lose any weight. Trust me, I'm fine. And when you're viewing, they'll probably show you like a demo house that's got furniture and looks very pretty and perfect. Keep that in mind. Don't let the furniture distract you, and don't let whatever ornaments that are there distract you, because that's not what you will walk into on your first day of renting. And if you can, try to view the apartment that you will actually be staying at, because it's one thing to view a south-facing flat and then you get a north-facing, because you don't know what the different views are like. So try to get something that is very close to what you will pick. But it won't always be possible, so just try, but don't be too fussy. Cool. But let's be realistic. You won't always be able to go and physically view the place. For example, I'm from KZN and I'm renting in Joburg. There was no way I was going to leave my home for December just to go and view a place for 20 minutes and come back. So there are alternatives. If you have family or close friends in the city you're moving to, call them and ask them, hey brah, are you able to do a viewing for me? I'm looking for this and this and this. And before they go in, talk to them and tell them that, brah, please can you look out for these specific things? Check if the toilet flushes. Please check if there's a shower. Even better, just ask them to take a video of every single thing that they see. They must just walk in with the video and take you around. It must be like a virtual tour. Cool. If you can't do that, or you're not really close with your family or friends in that city, just ask the landlord to do a video call with you. Because we are living in 2020, guys, 21st century, fourth industrial revolution, like a coronavirus. Guys, we can't always be in physical contact with each other. So you must ask them to do a video call viewing, and they can literally take you through the house, and whilst you're watching video call, you can even screenshot if you want to see certain things, or be like, hey, can you just reverse? I want to go see the bathroom again. And guys, whilst you're doing this viewing, you must also be very aware of your surrounding. Look at the walls. Obviously this might be difficult on a video call, if their phone isn't really great quality, but look at the walls and see if you can see any mold, because that might be an issue, that there's some water issues behind those walls. Also just assess the area. Can you hear a lot of noise? Are there a lot of kids? I'll tell you one thing, I love kids with all my heart. Actually not with all my heart, but I do love kids. But for my first week, there was a kid that would cry every single morning at 5 a.m. I kid you not. I'd be so pissed, because why is your kid crying at 5 a.m.? But also, I've never had a kid, so I don't know how kids work. But I was bewildered. I was like, there's no way. Every single day at 5 a.m. your kid is crying. What is happening? Are you okay? So yeah, but the kid doesn't cry anymore. So I'm happy. We're happy. The kid is happy. Okay, and now moving on to my tips. Firstly, arrange a viewing. I said this, but I'm just going to say it again so that you can understand the importance of it. Number 2, get a flatmate, especially if your finances are quite tight. I know a lot of people don't want to have flatmates. No one ever wants to have a flatmate. But guys, certain things push for you to have a flatmate. And yeah, I'll do another video later on about how to find the perfect flatmate, the benefits of having a flatmate and all of that. But if you can get a flatmate, go for it. I personally would not advise you living with someone that is your friend or family, because it blurs the lines. But yeah, story for another day. Cool. Oh yeah, and with the flatmate, you can get a nicer place, because there's 2 of you paying. You can split the furniture, but I'll tell you how later on. Just that with the flatmate, just check how many parking spots are at your place, especially if you guys are both driving, because most places will have 2 bedrooms with 1 parking spot. So you guys might have an issue and might have to find another place. Cool. Set your debit order payment for your rental on the same day as when you get paid, because it is so tough having money in your account but knowing that you can't use it because it's going to your rent. On the day you're due to arrive at your new place, please make sure it's not a Sunday, because people close early, and also a Sunday means Monday you're working. You have no time to unpack and relax and enjoy your place because everything is so rushed. So if you can do Saturday, even better if it's a Friday. When you arrive, inspect the place with the landlord. So you will walk around your whole apartment with the landlord, and you must keep your eyes open. It's not for you to look and admire your place. No. You're already renting it. You'll admire it later. But you must keep your eyes open and look and see if there's anything that you think is faulty, that you think you might be charged for later on. Because remember, this thing charges your deposit. So if you see that that sink is chipped, point it out to the landlord and be like, oh, did you see that sink is chipped? And take a picture. Cool. Continue walking around. Oh, there seems to be a water problem here. Take a picture. Notify the landlord you're walking with him or her or whoever. Make a picture folder of all the faults that you found when you moved in, so that when you move out, you cannot be charged for them. Otherwise, cool. And the best thing that you can do, because sometimes you don't all have space and you delete things, just put on your cloud. And that thing can stay for. Make sure you can afford it. This seems very obvious, but like, I know people who rent places that are very expensive, and then a few months later they have to like move out. And on that affordability one, remember, you're not buying, you are renting. So you cannot be spending more than half of your salary on a place that you will have nothing to show for at the end of the year. So rather just keep it simple, rather just keep it affordable, and when you're ready to buy, then you can look at options like renting to buy, or like you can actually just buy the place. If you can, check the network coverage at that place, because I know like certain networks don't work. Like my Cell C SIM card was non-existent when I moved in. Like I could not make calls, I could not WhatsApp my family. And guys, when you've just moved in, there's no Wi-Fi. I literally had to do everything in the morning before I walked into the office, and after work I'd chill in my car for an hour just so I could, respond to people. And it was the worst 2 weeks of my life. Like, I missed my people. In terms of checking network coverage, I think you can check on Google. I know with the Rain SIM card, they show you the coverage really nicely. I don't know if our SIM cards show, but I really do hope they do, And if they don't, Cell C, Vodacom, MTN, get on it, guys. Come on. Assess if the landlord lives close by. So having your landlord live right underneath you or right next to you can get very annoying, especially because you feel like you're being watched or preyed on all the time. So like, I don't know how you're going to do it, but like preferably before you like move in, like whilst you're still viewing, ask them, oh, do you stay here, or like do you stay around here, just so that you know and you can gauge where they will. Because maybe your lease agreement doesn't even have these rules, but because of their religious beliefs, they don't like people who smoke or drink. So then you're expected to not smoke or drink, even though that is part of your lifestyle. So just get an idea of where they stay, and the further the better. When you're searching for these complexes and all of that, make sure you do external research. Go and Google the place, and on Google, when you say, let's say you're planning to move to a place called Nobuhle Valley Sharp, type Nobuhle Valley on Google, and on Google you'll see that there's they'll show you the address of Nobuhle Valley, they'll show you an overview and pictures, and then there's a tab that says review. Click on that review thing, because I love people who review places. Like, thank you so much. People review, and those reviews are not paid for. Sometimes they're anonymous. It's people who have just been there and Google Maps has picked up, and they're like, hey, can you review this place? And they quickly review. So that is the best way to gauge what that place is like. That's how you can find out if the maintenance of that place is crap, because the place can look good, but the staff there can be really shitty. They might not look after the place. You might have a burst pipe and they don't come in. So like, you need to know this. Like, I remember there was a place I almost picked, and I went on Google and I searched, and I also searched on Twitter, because like you write the full name, and I saw that there was no water for like 2 weeks. I was like, I cannot. If you stay at a place that like you think other people might look at, please go and review it so that people can know what it's like, even if you make it anonymous so people don't know that it's you who reviewed it. But it's so nice, because right now, guys, the only thing we have is each other, because these businesses will sell us udoti. Last tip, location is important. Location is important because what are the surrounding areas? Yeah, you could live in a nice suburb with very nice apartments, but what's the next place next to it. Crime, assess the crime. This might be hard, but like guys, there are certain crime hotspots that we all hear about on Twitter and all of that. You don't want to go home every night and you're like, yo, maybe today's the day I get held at gunpoint. That's not nice, not safe, and also just don't do it. Don't pick something so cheap that it sacrifices your safe, because at the end of the day, your life is more important than that extra 1,500 that you'll be paying. Also, are there any shops? Is there a mall nearby? You don't have to like drive out of town just to get milk and bread. Next thing, are there taxis nearby, the car train, the car bus, just so that if you don't have a car, you need to know that you can move around easily. And even if you do have a car, guys, you never know what's going to happen. Your car could break down, some idiot could crash into you, and you have to use public transport for like 2 weeks. You need to know that there are taxis passing by. Guys, if you don't get it right the first time, if you don't find the perfect apartment, remember that it's only 12 months. You can move out and try again next year, you know. But if you really are pressed for time and you can see that I'm gonna take this place even though I don't want it, but I need to take a place, ask if you can sign a shorter lease, like not 12 months. Sometimes you can sign 6. And I know other people sign monthly leases, so each month you renew it, and you can do that because you're still looking. You can't make such a big decision and you don't even know the place. You know that you're not happy with this place. You know you can find something better if you had more time. Just sign a shorter lease and then you can look around and also ask people. But yeah. So the first question is ground floor or not? Okay, guys. On the ground floor, there's a lot more space than a balcony. You know, you can set up your laundry thing to hang your clothes. You can have a braai area, kubani, like there's a lot. And if you're lazy, there's less stairs because you're right there. But when you're on ground floor, the cars park on the same level as ground floor. So some days, that car that drives in at 9 p.m. will come in and shine their lights in your bedroom or in your lounge. Cool. Another thing, there is a lot of noise on ground floor because when people are walking in and out from their apartments, they pass the ground floor. When people are coming back from Groove, they're making noise, they might pass out, they might want to pee, and just remember that all of this happens on ground floor. Just make sure that there's a lot of like burglar guards and that there's enough security for you, because you are the first person that a skivengu can get. Furnished versus unfurnished. So guys, you know, ideally I think everyone would like to move into a furnished place, especially when you're starting out, because we can't afford to get all of the nice furniture, but it is a lot more expensive. Yeah, but in Cape Town I know there are quite a lot of furnished places and they look good, and at the end of the day it's not yours. But if you're only working for 1 year, then by all means go for it. Go and rent a furnished place, because there's no point in buying a fridge, a bed, a washing machine, all of that nonsense when you're only there for 1 year and you're moving back to school to maybe do your masters or whatever. Also, there are some apartments that are partially furnished, so they will probably come like with a washing machine and a dryer, maybe a microwave, you know, those nice soft things, and a fridge, you know, that's nice. And then you just come with your bed and all of that. So yeah, I mean, if you can, go for it. The next question is gas versus electrical stove. So with a gas stove, it's nice because when there's load shedding, you're not affected. You can cook all your nice food. And gas takes very long to finish, I know. But gas is very dangerous. Like, I'm terrified of gas. I would never ever live in a place with a gas stove. Also, if the cylinder isn't hidden, then it can kind of look ugly in your apartment. But like if it's under a cupboard, then okay, I guess you're fine. But just to keep in mind, with electricity stoves, the electricity isn't too expensive, guys. Like, it's a prepaid meter, and like I remember my flatmate and I went for like 2.5 weeks on 20 rands worth of electricity. So just for context, this was when we had moved in and we didn't know that we needed to upload the electricity for the first month because we paid a deposit and all of that, so we thought it would be automatically there. So and they only put in 20 rand just so that like you have a placeholder. So we went for like a good 2 weeks with 20 rand. So guys, electricity is not too bad, especially if you don't have a lot of appliances or TV, DVD, all of that. You don't have that nonsense. So does your company provide accommodation for you when you move in? Because like as a trainee accountants, we write our board exams end of January and beginning of Feb. You're working, so you have 1 or 2 days to move to a different town. Most people move towns, but don't stress. I will do a proper video on how to I will do a proper video on the transition to writing your boards to working, so I will cover that in more detail. But guys, your employer does not give a shit. They don't care. You could be living in a shoebox as long as you're at work. That's all they care about. So whether you have a place to stay or not, they don't care. They don't provide any accommodation. It's up to you. You're an adult. And the last question is, what are your rights? Okay, so firstly, remember that you have a right to get your deposit back. Next is, your landlord can't just kick you out. They can't evict you without a reason, and they must follow certain proceedings. Like, they need to give you a written notice, and explain to you why they're kicking you out. And also, there's like this law in South Africa, but like I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me. But like, there's a law where you can't remove someone from their like home. But like, because obviously you are renting, that is not your home. So if a landlord does want to kick you out, they can, but they must have proper reasons. So usually it's if you haven't paid, or if you've broken one of the terms in your lease agreement. Guys, if you do that, like, you don't even have a foot to stand on in court, because you signed on the contract saying that you will abide to this rule and you didn't. So get out. So also with your contracts, just read them carefully. And like, sometimes they do get complicated, but like, take your time and Google things. Guys, we have Google, we have Twitter. You can even say #lawyer Twitter, please help, what does XYZ mean? And people are often very quick to give out information. Like, people love proving how smart they are. So when I ask, and people will answer you. Smoking or drinking, guys, unless something is like stated in black and white on your contract that it's prohibited, I don't think anyone can stop you. You need to obviously respect each other. Like, don't smoke in their face. If they have kids, be conscious of that. But like, if it's not in the agreement and they didn't really say it to you when you moved in, I don't think they can just switch up on you and be like, hey, by the way, I don't like smokers. It doesn't work like that, because this is a two-way transaction. We both need to respect each other. And another thing with amending things on your lease agreement, like changing certain terms and adding or subtracting things, to my knowledge, a contract is valid when two people have signed it. And if there are any amendments, both parties need to come and sign on it. And that's why when you sign a contract, you initial on every page. And if a page is not initialed, then you obviously didn't see it. But my thinking is, what's going to stop someone from copying your initials? Because you just write the NK. Anyone can copy the NK. So that's why that you need to keep the exact same copy as your landlord, because when they add stuff, you can always bring your one and say, but my one does not have that page. Where are you getting it from? And also, now that's a bigger crime, because they forged your signature. So just know your rights, know that they can't really change things, and be familiar with your contract. It's going to help. Someone else asked me whether to prioritize furniture or the apartment. Guys, I don't know if you see, but like, I'm sitting on a camp chair. I don't have furniture at the moment, but honestly, I'm very happy with where I'm staying. So it's really up to you, but I personally would say prioritize getting a place to stay, and like, furniture will come as you get paid a lot more. Like, it's my second month in Joburg. I'm still trying to do things. I'm still trying to find my feet. There's no way I'm going to go and buy a couch for 10,000. And also, I don't want to get into debt. I don't want to go to Bradlow's and open the account, no. It's fine. I'll buy it when I'm ready. Cool. And also, like, thing is, even when I buy these things, I know I'm not buying for my dream house. This is not my marriage house where my kids are gonna grow up in. No. This is just like my apartment. And chances are, when I move into my marriage house, all of this furniture is gonna go into the OP, the outside building. So I don't want to like strain myself over furniture that I won't care about in 5 years. So don't stress. Don't want to have a cute apartment at your expense. It's not worth it. It's really not. As long as you have a comfortable bed, you have food and a fridge, because you need to store the food, and even a microwave. But a microwave, we just recently got a microwave. We've been heating up things via the oven or like the stove, but like you add on. You don't just buy everything all at once, because it's gonna be a long year, my girl. It's gonna be a long year. And guys, wait, I'm forgetting one thing. Oh, Someone asked me to show places that are affordable in Joburg. I think I'll just do that in another video, otherwise it's going to get very long and people like are going to get annoyed because not everyone's moving to Joburg. So I will do another video where I do speak about these other places. All in all, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. I am so close to getting monetized. I am so excited. So excited. So thank you if you've reached this part of the video. Please do share with your friends and maybe even comment things that I've missed out, tips that you wish other people knew. I really do appreciate your support, and guys, I'll see you next time. And also comment any other future videos you want. I know people want financing, how to budget. I know people want a story time. I know people want to know how my boyfriend and I met. I will do all of those things in due time. But yeah, let's deal with this video and see how it goes, and then we'll just keep adding on and on and on and on. Cool.